What's up, guys? Sleeps here with the return of Nonstop Nationalities. This is basically a series in which I build squads based on different countries. Quickly before I get into our first squad, which as you see is Montenegro, I wanted to say that last year I was very strict on the squads having to have a starting 11. Like if there wasn't a complete starting 11 from a country, like say they had a full 10 out on the pitch except for a goalkeeper, that I would just be like, okay, I'm not doing that. I think there were teams like, I think Algeria was one last year where I was just like, nope, can't do it. And I pretty much just said, you know what, forget that. If they have at least like 10, even 9 players, I'm willing to substitute 1 or 2 just to make the squad work, because it is interesting to use some of these other countries that don't that aren't played as much. So as you see, we did Montenegro, and this was a really fun team, and this was one of those teams that did not have a goalkeeper. So I put my own goalkeeper in there that just had chemistry with one of the center backs. So let's get that out of the way. Our goalkeeper is Landrau, I believe that's pronounced, the goalkeeper for Lille. And he is actually really solid, but it doesn't matter how good he is because the squad isn't about him. It's about Montenegro. So let's quickly go over to countries. Montenegro selected, and let's talk about this defense, which to be honest really is not that good. So we got this guy here, Basha, which is the Lille connection, and then we have Savage. Basha was very good in the air, but as you see, 59 pace. That is very, very bad. But the good thing is that he's very, very cheap. As you see, I got him for 300 coins. And all I can say about him is that he's very slow, and you are going to feel it. But he does win a lot of headers, and he is quite strong. But you definitely have to be, very aware of what your opponent is going to do, because they will definitely burn this guy. Our other center back isn't as slow. 65 pace isn't horrible, I guess. Although 70 and up for me is, the center back I would typically go for. So Stefan Savic, he's not bad at all. 150 coins. Guys, this team is really cheap apart from the front 3. So, a good thing about this team is that very, very affordable. 68 defending, 70 heading. This guy actually wasn't that bad. This was probably the best out of the 4 defenders. And our fullbacks are actually really horrible. Here on the left side, we have Fatic. And there's nothing good to be said about this guy. Very, very bad. 69 pace, 68 defending, and 69 heading. The only good thing is his price. You can get him for little to no coins. But he's just necessary. It's just necessary to have this guy in the squad. So there he is. And on the right hand side, despite the fact that he is the only bronze in the team, he really isn't that bad. We got him for 150 coins. That's a good thing, guys. Very, very cheap. 71 pace. I don't want to. I would say that he's definitely slow, but I would say he feels faster than 71 pace. If that makes any sense. So he's slow, but not that slow. To me, it seemed like anyway. And I would say he actually performed better than the left back. So he wasn't too bad. Our CDM was actually really good, and this is pretty much what made the defense, is that I had this guy, Drincic, one of the two. This guy would cover for the center back so much. 73 pace. I think his sprint speed is like 75, so he was the one that was basically covering for the pace back there. I would just drop back with him and make sure that he would cover for what my center halves were doing. I got him for 400 coins. He's very cheap, and his shooting isn't all that great, but obviously he makes up for it. He's 74 overall, and he has good passing, good heading, and he's very solid, very necessary for this team. Our left mid, let's get this guy out of the way, because this guy is horrible. I think this guy might actually be the worst player in the entire team. Boskovic, and this guy is actually kind of hard to get as in my formation, but this guy, he is now a cam, and I think he plays in the A Bundesliga now. You can't get a left mid out of packs anymore, so it took me quite a few days to finally get this guy, but I did manage to get him for 150 coins. Sometimes in situations like that, you have to pay like a couple thousand coins just because he's not in packs anymore, so I was happy to get him for 150. And over on the right hand side is probably, I don't know, he's up there. He's either my favorite or second favorite player in this entire team. He is amazing, guys. Vukcevic. These names are very hard. 4-star skills, left-footed player, plays on the right side. As you see, 78 shooting for silver. That is quite high, and his shot is amazing. Finesse, doesn't matter what it is. He's good at free kicks. This guy is a solid player. He has 80 strength. 73 heading isn't that bad either, and he is just amazing. I have quite a few goals with him, and the 4-star skills are obviously very nice. And now let's get on to our cam. and that was Jovetic. And I don't know if that was the right decision. I had him in FIFA 12 playing as a cam, so I thought, let's just have him do the same position in this game. And he really wasn't that great. He cost me just under 50k. And as a cam, I felt he defended way too much, and I don't know if he has poor stamina or what's going on, his work rates, but he was always really, really tired, and I didn't really get to see much from Jovetic. When he did have a chance, though, to be fair, he did put him away nicely, and he has great control of the ball, but I was a little disappointed in him. I expected a lot more, because he was actually the most expensive player in this squad. Now, our front two, we have Vucinic, which I put on this side, and then on this side we have Damjanovic on the right hand side. Let's quickly talk about Vucinic. He's very solid. One thing that's great about this front three is that they're all tanks. They all have good strength, they're all quick, and when they get going, they're just like a train that cannot be stopped. Once they're on their full stride, they basically just run people over, and they were a very strong front three. They're good in the air. But the main man right here is Damjanovic. This guy was amazing. I got him for 35k. I know he's way cheaper now, but I got him right when he came out because I knew I was going to make this team. He actually goes now, I think, get him for like 20k, maybe even less than that. I don't know, 4-1-2 and 2, kind of expensive. I don't know, about 20k. So this guy is solid, and he has 96 strength, and that totally shows in his play. You cannot push this guy off the ball, especially when, like I said, he is like a train. Once he is in full stride, there's just not much you can do to stop him. He's very good either foot. You see a 4-star weak foot. He can curl it in with either foot, and he was just amazing. Honestly, I want to say that he's one of the best strikers I've ever used. Definitely in my top 10. I'll say he would have belonged there. He scored some great goals and was very, very good for the team. So let's put in a manager also, because I actually found a Montenegro manager. He is silver, he is non-rare, but I really enjoy actually finding a manager from the same nationality as the rest of the squad. So that's it for me showing the team. We're gonna get into some of the highlights, so let's do that right now. Alright guys, so we're going to start off these highlights with some goals from Jovetic, which, as I mentioned earlier, isn't always in the correct position and is sometimes pretty tired. When he is in the right position and he is where he needs to be, he finishes very well. His finesse shot is nice. He has 90 curve, so that shows in his finesse shot. And as long as you have him where he needs to be, he will actually perform well. He will finish. He has good ball control, as I'm showing here. Inside, outside, inside. Boom, goal. He's very good if he is where he has to be, but I definitely would say do not spend 50k on the inform if you're going to play him as a cam. I haven't tried him as striker, but it can't be any worse than cam, so definitely don't spend 50k if you're going to get him as cam. If you really want him as a cam, just buy the normal version. It's definitely not worth 50,000 coins for what he did for me anyhow as a cam. So we move on to our next player, Vucinic, who was actually very solid, and I think I paid something silly like 900 coins. He's very cheap, and he is very good. 80 pace, I don't know. He felt a lot quicker than 80 pace. He seemed like to really burst off the ball quickly, and his shots from outside the box were always on point. Very powerful shots, always in the corner, and it shows it right there. And right here, he draws a free kick for our next player, who is Vucinic, which was that silver right mid who plays for Blackburn. And he is very, very solid. I mean, as soon as I saw that he had 78 shooting, I knew that he had to be good. That's a pretty high shooting rating for a silver player. 78 shooting, that's fairly high. So I knew he had to be good at free kicks or something. So I picked him up. 4-star skills, lefty on the right-hand side, was very, very good. 4-star skills showing right here. Berber spin, smash it near post. Yes, get you a goal. He was very, very solid, and his shot was always on the money every single time. I've never had a situation where I was like, oh, Vucinic, you totally messed that up. What were you doing? That shot was nowhere on target. He always seemed to be on the money. And another thing is that his pace is pretty low, 75. I guess that's not horrible, but it seemed to not be an issue because he always found himself in positions, as you just saw, just wide open for some reason. He seems to just time his runs perfectly. I don't know what he does, but he seems to just be available every single time down that right-hand side. And as soon as he was there, he does a skill here or there, shoot, and it's a goal. Our next player, Damjanovic, this I'm just showing his 96 strength definitely shows. He bullies people. He out of the front three is the best as far as just being unstoppable. Once this guy's full stride, you can't stop him. He just bullies everybody. I've never used a player that with so much pace and so much strength. Even in like Ibra in FIFA 12 felt OP. but he's just like that, just better. He just seems to just dominate the opposition up there, and his ball control was actually better than what I would say. I think it says 79 on the card. It didn't feel like that. Right there, that's a nice little skill goal. Some step overs, a roulette. Only has 3 stars, so he can only do so much. But what I want to emphasize is just how good he is as far as strength goes. He just bullies the opposition. Boom, takes it past 1, takes it past 2, and smashes it near post. And another thing, his left foot is actually really good. I relied on that a lot because since he was playing on the right side, he had to finish with his left a lot, and it was really good. It didn't matter if it was outside the box, if it was a finesse shot, from close, far, it didn't matter. That left foot never let me down. He finished it. I think he has 95 finishing. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And there again, showing the strength to get away from the center back. It was just very solid. Overall, I would recommend you make this team. It's very fun to play with. The front 3 are pretty good. If you can get past the poor defense, this team actually really isn't that bad, and it only costs about 75k. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, a like would be awesome. I'm going to leave you guys to the last goal, and that's going to be it, guys. I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
Brilliant attitude here, great ability as well, and they've suddenly pulled it out of the fire.